What about us?
What about us?
Well, we both have a problem. And your problem is your report. You want it to be good. And you don't want to be scolded by your captain. My problem is you. I'm attracted to you. Nice head of hair. Now, I promise I'll help you with your problem if you'll help me with mine. And to show you what a good sport I am, we'll work on your problem first.
Well, it's not easy, but I'll accept your terms.
Fine.
Hello there, Columbo fans. This is Sean.
And this is Steve.
And welcome to the final episode. Oh, not the final episode, but the final episode in Season 4 of the Columbo Confab podcast, in which we're going to talk about It's All in the Game, starring Faye Dunaway as a murderous debutante.
Or as I call this episode, proof that I'm right about Mrs. Columbo.
Oh, here we go. It's gonna start. No, sir. We are gonna argue about this for just 5 minutes, and then we're gonna go on with the content of the episode. But okay.
Oh no.
Oh God. Okay. So, these rundowns.
So rich people.
Yeah, rich people. What does this woman do for a living?
They party. They party differently than. Well, no, I want to know. They party differently than we do, don't they?
Oh.
They all crowd around a piano and sing songs and
until 2:00 in the morning, apparently. And
Yes.
they didn't just have a piano; they actually had a mariachi band there in the background, out in the patio.
margaritas.
Yeah, a margarita machine. This lady had it all. She had it all.
yeah. Well, it's Faye Dunaway. Hey, did you notice? I don't know if this caught your eye. So the beginning of the episode, they're showing all the character credits. They're doing like a pull away or pull towards the mansion, and and the camera goes over a water fountain. Did you realize that water fountain was flowing backwards?
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah. So it's like they didn't like the pull away, so they reversed the shot, and so the water is actually going into the water fountain at the beginning.
Interesting. Okay.
At least when next time you watch it, will you confirm that for me, or I'm going crazy?
Okay. No, next time I watch this, which will be for, I don't know, whenever I do another Columbo podcast, which will be never. No, I'll probably watch this again at some point in the future.
Oh,
I did notice that they
you
reused.
did like this one.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I did notice that they reused the mariachi shot, though. They used it twice.
Oh?
Yeah, they used it in the very beginning, and then I think they reuse it again a little bit later after she comes back from killing the guy.
Yeah.
And can I just say, I think that this is probably, at least for the 90s, the biggest caliber star that they've gotten to play a murderer.
Interesting.
I think so.
And this did you notice that this story was written by Peter Falk?
Yes, which is very interesting and makes... probably accounts for a few things, because this is...
It does.
Yes. You know what?
Sure does.
I want to write a story where the killer is a beautiful lady and she makes out with Lieutenant Columbo.
Whenever I think there was another one we watched that he wrote, and wasn't there like naked women in it or something? I don't know. I think he writes the really interesting stories.
Maybe you're thinking of Murder: A Self-Portrait, but I think, if memory serves, this is the only one that he's written.
Oh, really? And there's no Mrs. Falk in this.
No, believe it or not, I was shocked. Yeah,
I know.
That was probably what he said at first. He was, well, I'll only do it if Shara Denise can play the killer. And they said, no, we've got someone better, Faye Dunaway. And he just couldn't turn down Faye Dunaway. But what I really like about the fact that he wrote this is not only does it go a little bit off of the beaten path of, traditional Columbo, we know everything in the beginning, but about 10 minutes before it concludes, it gets really fucking dark. And I know I'm jumping ahead to the ending, but this is one. Okay, I know that I've said this like 5 times in a row, but talk about somebody who like totally deserved to get murdered. And at first, well, you know what? No, you know what? I want to hear your because I remember the first time watching.
Well, yeah,
this.
let's get there first.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Another odd observation I made was I don't know the actress's name off the top of my head, but she played Mary Ann on Gilligan's Island. She was at that party.
Really? Are you being joking? Are you joking?
No, I'm serious. No, I am serious.
Where was she?
When they was doing a shot, when they were going through the crowd at the party, she's in there. It's Mary Ann. I swear to you, honestly, you're going to have to just watch the first 5 minutes of this episode again.
How do you know it's just not a lady that looks like Mary Ann?
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's Mary Ann.
Okay.
I've lusted my early childhood over her enough to know.
There's lots of sequins at that party. I mean, there's a lot of sequins. Did you notice all the sequins? Just saying.
Sequins.
Anyway, so give us a rundown of the plot here.
Okay, so thanks for putting me on the spot. Gambler named Nick Franco, I think his last name.
Mm-hmm.
He likes to, as someone points out in this episode, that he likes to date older women for their money and date the younger women for their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of a scumbag.
Oh yeah.
And so at the point when this starts, we've got 2 women who are plotting his death, and it's Lauren and Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
And you start to wonder. I mean, I hope you don't mind. I bring this up a little early. You're thinking there might be lovers.
Yes, absolutely.
Because there's a couple of scenes where they're kind of intimate. They're hugging each other. They tell one another they love each other.
Yes, absolutely.
So right off the bat, I'm thinking, wow, they're really going there. And considering it was when was this released? 2003?
I don't know. No, it was earlier than that. It was probably like late-ish 90s. 2003 was when the last one was released, I think.
Oh.
So
they could have approached lesbianism, but I honestly don't think that would have been a family night TV program, you know?
Well,
so I was a little surprised. Like they weren't going. I was thinking, oh, they're not going to go all the way with the kissing, or they're just going to imply things. Well, that was my initial thought between Lauren and Lisa.
Well, no, I think that the intention was to make us think that they were lovers because
right.
They hug right after they kill the guy, after they shoot him. And then there's a lot of conversations afterwards, especially when they meet in the bathroom, where they are extremely intimate, like looking into each other's eyes and all that. I think that they would have I doubt that they would have gotten away with that if they were men. But don't forget that this is right around the time that Butterfly and Shades of Grey came out as well, and that had a gay character, and they were talking about homosexuality in that, but it wasn't as in your face as it was here, even though this turns out to be not homosexuality or lesbianism. I love saying that word, lesbianism.
That's the word of the day, ladies and
gentlemen. Lesbianism, and you have to roll your L's.
So I didn't like Nick at all. The actor who played him perfectly. Did you notice his teeth looked a little weird?
Really?
Like a little long, like horse-like in nature.
I did not notice that. I did not notice that. He looked like a soap opera actor, or like what's the name of that? Rupert Everett. That's who he reminded me of. Whatever happened to that guy? I don't know.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was in My Best Friend's Wedding. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no. So Lauren and Lisa are both plotting to kill him. They pull out some of the old tropes from older Columbos, I've noticed, like keeping the body warm with an electric blanket.
Oh man. Okay, keep going.
The circuit breaker. There's an episode. I can't think of which one it is, but I know they've used that before.
The idea of her having an alibi because she comes up, or somebody hears a shot and sees someone running out the back door, and them keeping the body warm with an electric blanket was done. It was exactly like, and an episode in the first season called Suitable for Framing. They did the exact same thing. And I was writing down, Peter, you're not very original there.
Right. So that episode we reviewed recently, Catch Me If You Can, was that the same house?
Try and Catch Me. Oh, no.
Or Try and Catch Me.
Oh, no.
Sorry, that's a movie I was thinking. Yeah, it looked like the same foyer when Columbo comes in.
No. The one in Try and Catch Me was much smaller.
Was it?
At least that's the way it looked on screen.
It's all sets anyways, I'm sure. But...
Which is interesting because the title for this one and the title for that one sound like they could be sequels or something. It's All in the Game, Try and Catch Me. Both starring Oscar-winning actresses. That's our theme. Not really, because there's 3 other episodes.
But Faye Dunaway, she is amazingly attractive. I mean, what a good-looking woman. Yeah. I think that her and Peter Falk just must hit it off famously.
Yeah, they had. She was great in this. She was awesome, in fact, and they had great chemistry, which was. I think they probably had better chemistry than Peter Falk and Cher Denise ever had on screen.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the Cher Denise fan club is going to come and get me now.
Is there such a thing?
I think there probably is. There's probably like one lady in her basement with 4 cats. In fact, right now she's recording the Cher Denise podcast. It's all about it's all about Peter Falk's will.
Probably like Verity or something.
Yeah. Okay.
So Columbo comes on the scene on the murder scene, wearing his pajamas or his pajama top, and pulling out hard-boiled eggs. He not only had just one, I think he had 2, maybe 3.
Yeah.
Hard-boiled. I mean, he had a whole dozen.
I think it was quite obvious that Peter Falk really enjoyed writing his character. Because we check off all the boxes here for Columbo. We've got the weird culinary, things with the hard-boiled eggs. We find out that he enjoys eating peanut butter and raisin sandwiches.
Oh, is that a thing in Columbo?
I've never seen it before. I think this is the first time. Not only does he enjoy eating peanut butter and raisin sandwiches, but they're peanut butter and dead man's raisin sandwiches. He raids the dead guy's raisins and uses it to make...
Yes, what's up with that? He's going after his orange juice. What else is he... he's like looking through his stuff to make his breakfast.
Yeah.
That was
which of course is, a vehicle to get to the clue about the ice melting in the tiny fridge.
That was a very good clue.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh, I love clues. Yeah, that's a good one.
So so we have the hard-boiled egg, we've got the chili, we've got dog in this. All the standards.
And I think it's important that the wife is mentioned twice, once in the end and once when the second time he meets Faye Dunaway, he mentions that his wife is not anemic, she has poor circulation.
Right.
Which is a clue, but I'm sorry, if I give a hot mug of coffee to somebody and they don't drink from it, I don't immediately jump to the conclusion that they have poor circulation. I thought that was a bit tenuous.
Yeah. Well, and I think he was testing her from the very beginning. I mean, you do see that the character falls for Lauren, but I think he's playing her, which is the title of the episode. Because there's a part where I was surprised it overwent Lauren's head was the reason she went to bed early during the night of her party. She had a headache, and Columbo, when he was interviewing her, I think like the second time, he was asking her, "Oh, I've got a headache. Do you have any aspirin?" Or, she didn't know if they had what they had. Mm-hmm. But I was surprised because she was pretty smart and pretty quick.
Yeah, that was a slip up because. That was her alibi, and it was just the night before when she killed a guy. Yeah. I don't know. I also think that the clue about... Well, you know what? Yeah, the clue about the phone calls they couldn't do anything about because I'm sure that it wasn't until after he had made the phone calls that they decided to kill him. And they got rid of his phone bill.
Right. That was a big clue.
Okay, but they couldn't help the fact that he had already called her 12 times, like in 10 days or something like that. Did you hear about all the bills that guy had? He had a pharmacy bill, a men's clothes store bill, a cheese store bill,
Yeah.
and a credit card bill. Okay, everybody else in the real world has like a credit card bill, electric bill, and maybe the mortgage bill. Did that guy just get bills for everything? What is this, 1941? You buy everything on credit, and then old farmer Stan sends you a bill for the services? That doesn't make any sense. But
Well, yeah, the cheese bill. What a weird thing.
Yeah,
to have
I
a
mean-
bill for. I forgot about that until you mentioned it.
yeah.
So in this episode, now I like it when Columbo kind of gets along with the police officers. You know, they joke around, or they have these moments of camaraderie.
Uh-huh.
But in this particular episode, all the other investigators, the other officers, all seem to despise Columbo.
Yeah.
Like they get annoyed with his requests. They do a lot of sighing, their eyes rolling, and they just don't like him.
Like, Columbo, I'm waiting for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we've mentioned this before, how this guy's solved like 100+ murders of famous people, and he probably needs a little bit more respect. But I guess that
If my peers talked to me like those officers did to Columbo, I think I would have snapped. Wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, I think there is only one instance where I can think of Columbo snapping at another police officer at the scene of a crime, and we'll get to that eventually. But the reason for him snapping is actually quite adorable.
So Columbo is not well liked, but he does have a friend that's a bartender at a restaurant, which he looked familiar, but I don't think is that a recurring character?
I'm going to tell you who he played, and
His name's Barney, right?
Yeah. Well,
Is it Barney?
the character comes up maybe 2 or 3 times in the '90s episodes. I cannot remember if we did an episode where he was in. He's played by an actor named John Finnegan, who was also made various appearances in the '70s episodes. In fact, he was in the last one that we did, Fade Into Murder. He played the guy. Remember when Columbo walks on the hot set while they're filming William Shatner?
Yeah.
And he's like behind a window, and there's a guy. There's a guy like scrunched down. He's like, "Sir, you're on a hot set." That was him.
Mm-hmm.
That was him. His name is John Finnegan. He played a cop in another episode that we did. He's in a lot of them. He's dead now, unfortunately. And Barney's Beanery, the restaurant that he runs, is an actual restaurant, I guess, in L.A., but the inside is not what we see there. Yeah.
Oh.
And apparently Barney's Beanery is not doing so well, because we find out later that Barney has to moonlight at as a bartender at some other place. Did you notice that? Because that's where he tells Columbo he knows Nick
that's
Franco.
why he said all us bartenders talk to each
Yeah.
other or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
No, I didn't pick up on that. But yeah, I really like Barney, and he had some really great lines. Actually, all the scenes with Barney and Columbo were really awesome.
really?
Great stuff. Yeah, I loved it.
I kind of
Like the whole like dialogue between, I don't know, I think she likes me, and Barney's like, come on, she's a dame. What, she's playing. It's a whole conversation back and forth, and I don't know. I enjoyed it.
I think that Peter Falk must really enjoy like 1940s like film noir thrillers, because a lot of that dialogue reminded me of that, like even the way the murder was committed. But I didn't personally enjoy the scenes between Columbo and Barney. I thought they were just total filler.
No.
In fact, even the final scene, after they arrested her and it was all over, I'm like, come on, roll credits already. I'm sorry, I kind of disagree there. I don't even see, like, I just don't...
Well, there's one scene where I guess after Columbo's been talking to Lauren, and I think it's a scene after she buys him the tie. Mm-hmm. He comes in and I guess talks to Barney to have lunch, whatever. And Barney says, "You smell like a French whore." I don't know why. I thought that was like, where'd that come from?
Because he was in the ladies' shop, and I guess he had some perfume sprayed on him. Yeah, I don't know. So
And there was some other like there was another scene where there were a couple of drunk guys in the background that made some funny comments.
Oh, the commissioner. The commissioner. He calls him the commissioner. The drunk guy in the background in the back booth. He's like, "All right, commissioner, I'll be right there." And yeah, I guess that was supposed to be either the old police commissioner or I don't know. Or
Oh yeah, because he wanted a glass of water.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was good stuff.
Well, that's okay.
Surprised you didn't like it.
I did not like that. No, I thought that was filler. I liked everything with Faye Dunaway in it, though. I thought she was fantastic. I liked everything with Bill Macy, the landlord, in it. Or not the landlord, the apartment manager.
He was good, too.
Do you know?
He had a couple of good lines.
Do you know where he's from? Do you know what show he's from? A little bit before our time, I think. But he was, I believe, the husband in Maude with B. Arthur.
Oh, okay. I never watched it, but I am familiar with the show.
Yeah, I never watched it either. All I know is that there's like a really famous episode where she has an abortion. That's all. But I think wasn't that a spinoff of some other show? I don't know. Anyway,
that was a spinoff from All in the Family.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Oh, yeah, there were a couple spinoffs.
And the Jeffersons.
Yeah.
Wait, the Jeffersons was a spinoff of All in the Family. Was Maude then a spinoff from the Jeffersons?
No, I think...
Or was it the other way around?
I think the Jeffersons and Maude were spinoffs of All in the Family. Well, wait, if we're wrong, you can email us at columboconfab@gmail.com.
I think All in the Family had quite a few spinoffs, actually, and successful. Usually when they do spinoffs like Joni Loves Chachi or Chachi Screws a Teenage Girl... Sorry, current news. So
I don't know. I think there were those were the only two. The one that had the most spin-offs that were successful, I'd say, is Happy Days. I can think of 3 off the top of my head. 4,
Laverne and Shirley,
actually.
Mork and Mindy. Well, Joni Loves Chachi, which just mentioned. What else was there?
Wasn't there one called Al's Place? About the guy?
Yes! I don't know if that was the name, but there was a spinoff about Al. Holy cow, I completely forgot about that. Okay.
And then, of course, Mr. C went on to move to Maine and help Jessica Fletcher solve murders. Never mind, that's a Murder, She Wrote. That's a Murder, She Wrote reference.
So we learned a new fact about Columbo in this episode, Sean.
What's that? He's a big Tom Bosley fan?
No, he's got sweaty feet.
Oh, yeah.
That's why his feet are so soft.
You know, I gotta hand it to him. You know, he the second time he's met this woman, and he tells her within the first 3 minutes that he sweats, especially his feet. Who tells somebody that? Nobody wants to know. Oh, I guess that's why he has soft feet. Ugh.
Yeah, I honestly think I know I've brought it up before in this podcast, but I don't think it's ever mentioned anywhere else, is that I think Lieutenant Columbo, possibly Peter Falk, but the character Columbo has a shoe fetish. Because not only is he always looking for new shoes for himself, like consistently. I mean, every season's got an episode where he's talking about his shoes. Mm-hmm. But in this one, he's talking to Lauren, Faye Dunaway. Or no, he's not talking to her. He's stalking her. And where is he stalking her from? A woman's shoe store.
Ah, okay. Yeah. That's right.
I think he I don't think he was looking for her. I think he just happened to be there.
Yeah. You know, you're right. There was even an episode where the gotcha clue at the end had to do with shoes.
I'm telling you, it's something about shoes in Columbo.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And there is such a thing.
Yeah, I've read, I've heard. Okay, so there's a clue in here about heat. There's this thing that they do in this episode where when he goes to the scene of the crime, you see him look at a couple things. One of the things that he does is he notices that the ice is melted in the refrigerator. We know exactly why it's melted, because they had the lights off, okay? Or they had the power off, more specifically. And
Right.
he also goes to, he looks at the thermostat, and they have one of those old-fashioned hamburger bun thermostats, which is what I call them. That's what I thought they were when I was little. I thought they reminded me of hamburger buns. And I noticed it was 72 degrees. And I'm like, oh, what's the big deal? It's 72 degrees. But what's so clever about that shot is it's not the fact that it's 72 degrees in the apartment that's important. Mm-hmm. What's important is that the heat is on, and rather than like it being off or having the air conditioning on, because it was 98 degrees that day, which means there was. I think that was a super good clue, and because when I was a super good clue. Oh, it was super double plus.
Super duper.
Yeah.
I'm super. Thanks for asking.
It's okay. So, because when this started, I totally didn't like it at all. I mean, I thought this is exactly like an old episode. Peter Falk wrote it. This is an original. He's copying it. So he's got elements from other episodes that he's using, and even the gotcha clue at the end is from another episode. But the thing with the clues here, I love clues, and they're all really good clues. Like, I think the heat is good. The heat clue is good, as I've talked about. The refrigerator clue turns out to be a real zinger. Not to mention one of my favorite scenes, starring, I don't know what her name is, but she's Rosario from Will and Grace. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Oh, the maid.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was her until later.
Yeah.
And I thought she was hilarious.
Yes.
I mean, I know she was playing it serious, but
that
was the funniest. That was the funniest scene. No, when she goes, when was it? How do you clean? See? How do you clean from top to the bottom to the top? See? And then they test the breaker. On, off. It's never ending. They could have shot that and made that scene last 5 seconds. They went on for what?
Oh, it's like
30 seconds.
Yeah. It's somebody in another podcast. I think. I know it was the Just One More Thing podcast pointed out that although Columbo has this thing with the upper class, when it comes to like blue collar workers like janitors and the help and all that, he tends to be really friendly with them. And I can think of several other episodes where that's the case. Actually, I think of a couple episodes where that's not the case when they yell at him. But usually for
is there this, yes or no? You don't have to tell me which if it's an episode or not in the title. But is there an episode where the blue collar is the murderer and it's the white collar that's innocent? Because that would be a nice twist.
No.
I'm surprised I didn't think of it.
Probably the closest that I can come to is actually there's not a single blue collar murderer in all of Columbo. No. Maybe I was going to say the guy that from Undercover, but he was pretty white collar. He was like a... No, I can think... Okay, I'm not going to say what it is. I can think of a blue collar murderer, but it's a cheat. It's actually kind of a cheat, but you'll see.
Okay, so Faye Dunaway and Peter Falk have great on-screen chemistry, and as you could tell from the beginning of our recording, I think this is proof
No, it's
that
not.
Lauren, the character... You know, you let me finish.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Lauren and Columbo, they're flirting with each other. Now, I know Columbo's playing her, but I honestly think that there's something in him that wants it to be real.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that if there was a Mrs. Columbo, either one, he's going to fool around on her, or two, there is no Mrs. Columbo.
Okay, first of all, just because he's playing her, that means that there's a possibility that there's a Mrs. Columbo, because he actually tells Barney that he's playing her and that he's, doing this just to get information from her. And the one scene where we know he's playing for her is when he's in Lisa's apartment and finds the puppy picture. And then we realize that he's got to go back and talk to Lauren, because what does he do? Oh, it's so clever. He's got this pensive look on his face, and he's slowly taking his tie off so he can put on the tie that she gave him.
Right, yeah. He only wears that tie when he talks to her.
Exactly.
And ladies and gentlemen, it's the tie that Lauren bought him earlier we're discussing. But, he is definitely playing her. He only wears that tie when necessary. But there's scenes where, like, Lauren is whispering sweet nothings into Columbo's ear, and he just has this big old goofy grin on his face. I don't think that's Columbo grinning. I think that's actually Peter Falk out of character grinning. But
now you actually texted me while you were watching this, and you were like, "Well, this is proof that Mrs. Columbo doesn't exist." And I was thinking to myself, "Oh my God, I don't remember this that well." When I watched, and then you said at one point, "LOL, there's kissing," and I'm thinking, "Oh my God." I automatically thought of Tyne Daly in Undercover when he kisses her.
I was going to bring that up. I have that in my notes. Tyne Daly. Yeah, the Columbo is really getting around. He's kissing prostitutes, rich spinsters. What else? What else is he kissing that Mrs. Columbo, quote unquote, Mrs. Columbo is not aware of?
But do you think,
I rest my case.
No, this is all for the good of the job. I mean, this is all,
It's good for something.
I think
it's called the libido. I mean, that's what it's good for.
I want to remake this, and I want to make the murderer a man, and make him like a older, like hairstylist or something, and he's got a crush on Columbo.
Okay, that would be funny.
So the kissing scene, Columbo is clearly, he's not going to enjoy flirting as much because he doesn't find the person attractive. But
he does find her attractive.
Oh, he does find her attractive. But I'm saying in my makeup, imaginary scenario. But he has to anyway because he's obligated to because it's his job.
No, him flirting like that, I don't think that's his job. I think.
Oh, come on.
He's enjoying it. He's doing it to find the murderer, to solve the case. But I think he's enjoying it way more than he should be.
Oh yeah, you're right. He is enjoying it. But do you think that he went home to his wife that evening and he said, this woman I think is a murderer kissed me? Do you think that happened?
Oh no.
No.
Okay, if we assume that there is a Mrs. Columbo, then he's not going to tell her any of this. Or he's sleeping on the couch. He's sleeping on the couch. No, he's sleeping on the new bed that he brought home for dog that mysteriously showed up that his wife can't figure out how he could afford.
From Sacksmith Avenue.
Right.
Okay. All right. Okay, so this is what Barney is for. So he's bouncing all these ideas off of Barney because usually he would do it with Mrs. Columbo. But he can't talk to her about this case, so he's talking to Barney instead. Huh? What do you think of that idea?
No.
That's why we never see Barney, because he doesn't usually talk about this stuff to Barney. He doesn't come into Barney and he doesn't say, I think the general manager of the LA Rockets is a murderer. I think that he killed the owner with a block of ice, blah, 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 blah. No, he goes home and talks to Mrs. Columbo about that. That's my theory.
Okay, so what the scene that you just referenced a few moments ago, where he's in Lisa's apartment and he sees the photo. Do you know what clues him off that they know each other? Did you pick up on that? What the clue was?
Yeah, this is what I call the murder she wrote syndrome, where a clue, something's a clue because the camera sort of centered on it for too long. Because I don't know. Plus, I saw this before, but it's been years and years. He looked at the picture of her that she had in her hallway, and I knew instantly. I don't know if it's because I remembered it, but that's an important. That's going to be a clue. He's not doing. Right. They're not showing that just for the hell of it. This isn't fucking Fellini. But did you get it? Did you get that? Did you recognize the chair in the photo?
Well, it's weird because I guess when this originally aired, it went to a commercial break and then picked up in Lauren's lobby or their home. And so that's I had to rewatch that scene again. It was the chair that was in the shot. It was an antique wood chair. I guess it was a one of. So that's how he was able to realize that they knew each other.
But did you recognize the chair as being the same chair that was in the picture with Lauren?
No. I had when we got back from the break for a commercial. That's when I noticed it.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. What do you mean the break from the commercial? This was on.
Well, no. Okay, so it's a scene where he's going through the photos. He sees the photo of Lisa with the puppy, and the chairs in the background, and he starts to take off his tie because now he's going to go and talk to Lauren, right? So it cuts. It's a hard break. I'm assuming it's for a commercial.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you mean.
And then when it comes back, the fade back in is now at Lauren's house, and he's looking at that photo where she's got the cigar and looking
Oh, okay, all right.
she's just a hot mess. Oh! So we were talking about the landlord.
Yeah.
He does say one line that I did write in my notes here. So when Columbo's asking him if he's ever had a peanut butter and raisin sandwich, which sounds absolutely disgusting to me, the landlord says, "If there's a God, I never will."
Yeah, you're right. That was really funny. That was. I think he was probably playing the same character that he played on Maude. And in fact, that actor, his name is Bill Macy, is still alive and well, and he's probably 110 years old, and he was a guest on Gilbert Gottfried's podcast.
Of course he was.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that. Okay.
Oh,
So at this point, Lauren has been flirting with Columbo, kissing, whispering in his ear.
no, he has not been doing that. She's been doing it to him.
No, that's what I say. Yeah, she's been doing
All
it.
right.
And so she's talking to Lisa, who at this point I'm still thinking, oh my gosh, they're gay lovers.
Yeah.
And it seems like Lisa's getting jealous of the attention that Columbo's getting, which I'm thinking, oh, this is going to be not a double homicide. What's the word I'm looking for? Lisa's either going to kill Lauren or the other way around. There's going to be a jealousy or an argument over Columbo and what does he mean and this stuff. But
No,
not at all. But let's keep going.
I wrote down Asian maid. We have an Asian maid.
Okay, that's a weird thing to write down.
Because they always have Asian. The help is always Asian. Maybe it's an LA thing. I'll bet you it is.
I don't know.
Okay, so there's a scene where he goes out to dinner with her at her restaurant, and then later on she decides that she's going to go to dinner with him at his restaurant at Barney's Beanery. And she walks into the bar or the restaurant. That's actually more like a bar. And it's like a ladies' antiperspirant ad. Because she walks in the door. She's walking towards the table where Columbo's at. And there's every single stereotype of like a blue-collar man in the bar.
Rednecks.
Yeah. And they all stop. There's like a construction guy. There's probably a cop. They look like, the village people. They all turn and they watch her. I'm like, oh, give me a break.
It's a woman.
Yeah, really.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's just like, please, give me a break. Yeah, she's a knockout. Whatever. She's pretty, I guess. She doesn't look like that anymore, by the way. I mean,
is it really rare for a woman to come into Barney's Beanery? Is it like a woman going to one of Kevin Spacey's parties? Is it just...
I don't know. I thought that was just really stupid and over the top. And were you... Okay, so their plan was to get him into the apartment. And it seems like I'm going back, but I'm not. And make sure the lights were off and shoot him in the dark. Were you wondering the whole time why the hell they had to have the lights off?
Why? I don't know.
Well,
did they explain it?
At the very end...
I feel like they did.
She did at the very end, after she confesses. She says it was because they didn't want any of the neighbors to see.
That's right.
But
that's right.
They park his car in the parking lot, in his parking spot. Lisa tells him to take the stairs to his apartment, which they do. They obviously go from the stairs to the apartment, so they could have, ran into somebody in the hallway. I think just the trip to the apartment is just as risky as committing the murder with the lights on. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, that would have been one of the biggest clues that Columbo kind of jumped to was the refrigerator being out. If they hadn't done that, I wonder if that would have affected.
Yeah,
the case.
They could have just shot it, and also it's not as if this was on this. The third floor, and somebody could have been. There were bushes outside. Wait a minute, yeah, there were bushes outside. They were on the first floor because Lisa escapes through the patio, and nobody could look in there and see. I don't know. I just wasn't buying that. I thought it was a little bit weird. I think they could have just left the lights on all day long, and nobody would have thought twice about it. It seemed like they were. I don't know.
Okay, so another point to prove my case.
Here we
Columbo.
go.
I'm going through my notes here, so they're coming as they come. So Lauren is talking to Lisa about how she's got Columbo, transfixed. She's got him under control. And Lisa says something like, "Well, how do you know?" And he goes, "Well, we talked about his dog all night." Not his wife, mind you, his dog.
But he already told...
Columbo is not talking about his wife to anybody. That his wife is now not even in his mind, in his thoughts. Mrs. Columbo does not exist, so he's not talking about
That's because if you've been married for as long as you have as Lieutenant Columbo, eventually you start getting tired of talking about your wife, and you talk about pets with everybody. You've got pets, you've got dogs, I've got cats. We both can understand this. You could talk to somebody on the street. What kind of dog you have? Well, I've got a golden lab. Well, so do I. That's like a 3-hour conversation right there.
Oh, so you don't talk about your wife?
No, who does? Unless we went to go see that movie, my wife and I. Then you bring it up. But, you're not like, well, my wife has got, blonde hair and she's 6'5" and I don't know, she's transgender, whatever. No one ever talks about their wife. And also, he already mentioned to her that he's got a wife. And the second time that he meets her, because he mentions the fact that his wife has a circulation problem and that she always likes to be in the heat.
She probably has like really cold feet, so like when they're in bed, I don't know. Does your significant other have cold feet? You ever been in bed with somebody with cold feet? It's ridiculous. It's just, why am I even talking about this? Okay, so in this scene, can we go back to the restaurant scene where they're at Barney's Beanery?
Okay, yeah, let's talk about Barney's Beanery.
And eating these really delicious big steaks. So while that's going on, and we see all the, as you put it, what's the name of
the
that
Village
band?
People?
Village People, thank you. All the Village People are extras in the background. We have the song by Tammy Wynette, Stand By Your Man.
Oh, God. See, isn't that just so annoying?
Blue Collar. Oh, you didn't like that?
No! That was just... It's just so dumb. I don't... It's like...
You didn't like... Oh,
okay. I'm sorry that you like... I mean, I'm not sorry that you liked it. I just thought... Okay.
But, so, yeah, in that scene, Lauren wants a glass of wine. And I guess Barney, or I forgot who, asks Columbo if he would like a drink or beer. And he says no. So he's on duty. I like that. That even though Columbo is doing this dinner thing, he's not drinking because he's on duty. He typically won't drink when he's on a case or working.
But he drank when he was with her in the fancy restaurant.
Because he wasn't working then.
Okay, whatever. I don't know.
It was all for pleasure.
Do you ever hate it in movies when somebody goes to a bar or a restaurant and like she says, "I'll have wine"? There are 2,000 different types of wine. The same thing. I'll order a beer. Same thing with beer. Do you want it draft?
Yeah,
do you want it out of a bottle? Yeah.
You want an IPA? Do you want a local brewery? Do you want? You can't order a beer anymore. You can't.
The only time that you can actually just say, "I'll have a beer," and you get a beer without being asked, "What kind of beer do you want?" is a ball game. I'm thinking about Wrigley Field, where they only serve old style. But otherwise, if you order a beer in a restaurant or a bar, you're going to have to be a little specific about what kind of brand. I mean, even if they just sell
what kind
Miller
of wine
and Coors.
What kind of wine did he give her?
I have no idea. They probably have a box of...
Toilet bowl wine? I mean...
Yeah, made by Adrian Carsini. This is the Adrian Carsini... 1978...
Toilet bowl wine.
I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about this. I'm so sorry. I feel like there's something just underneath the surface that's trying to catch me and like tell me what a great episode this is. But there's something that I just don't like about it. And I think that you liked it a lot more than me. And I can't explain why I don't like it that much because I feel like I should like it. I feel like maybe it's because it's hitting me over the head and telling me you really need to like this. because it's funny and quirky and fun.
You don't know. I may hate this because there's a scene where Columbo goes to a camera shop. Do you recognize that camera shop? They did reuse that. I know that's a reused set.
Is that the same camera shop in Negative Reaction in the Dick Van Dyke episode?
Dick Van Dyke. Yep.
Oh, okay. Are you sure?
I'm like really sure.
Because that was an actual camera shop that he went to, because you could see the
How do you
street. Well, you could see the street from. It wasn't a set. You could actually tell it was on location. I remember, but in this, I can't remember it. Anyway, okay, I'll roll with it. I'll believe you, I guess.
Oh, thank you. You'll believe me on the camera shop, but not the conspiracy that is a Mrs. Columbo.
Oh my God, you're like, what's his name? Alan, what's his name? What's that guy? What's that fuck's name? The guy that,
thanks.
Oh, no, you're not that bad. You know, the guy that lives in Austin that just got divorced. Alan something. Alan Jones. The guy that believes in UFOs, and then all of a sudden he became like a Trump supporter, and he's just...
What?
You don't know who I'm talking about? The guy,
No.
He's a DJ, used to be a DJ, now he does his TV shows. Free Radio or something like that. Anyway.
Radio Free Scaro?
No, not Radio Free Scaro. No, those guys are a completely different thing. Alan Jones is he's a talking head. He's a pundit.
Alec Jones.
Is it
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones?
Yeah, is he like a right wing nut?
Maybe it is. Okay, yeah. Okay, yes. We're talking about the same person. Yes. He's a right wing nut.
He's from Austin?
Yeah, he lives in Austin.
I did not know that.
And I know when he was divorced and he went through the divorce proceedings, I know a lady that was his wife's divorce attorney. Anyway, I'm sorry.
He's as nuts as he appears to be. Or?
Apparently, yes. I mean, he would like. Anyway, this has nothing to do with Columbo. Why am I bringing this up?
No, we just lost like 5 listeners.
Yeah, that leaves
huge Alex Jones fan.
Yeah, that was 3.
Yeah. He's crazy. That okay. Wait. Let's get back to the show. So if we don't mind, I'm just gonna jump to the interrogation scene where they pick up Lisa.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Can I talk about one more scene before we get to that? There's a rather disturbing scene. When she, it's the scene when she goes to eat with him at Barney's. The conclusion of that, she gives him the dog bed, which is really sweet and nice, and then he very calmly asks her whether or not she thinks that Nick was after her for her money, and she fucking loses it. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
That's right.
Now, so I want to ask.
Yeah, because he hit too close to home. I guess.
Yeah. Why did she lose it? Because she wanted the guy dead, because he was a piece of shit.
Yeah. I remember when I was watching that scene, thinking, "Oh, he finally started to, drive her crazy." Basically, that's part of his. Columbo's technique is he'll drive the person he's after crazy with his constant questions and showing up at weird times and stuff like that. And I think maybe Peter Falk wanted to write that in, but he finally started getting to Lauren. I don't know.
Well, I think that is her breaking point, because he went there basically. I think that, and I didn't think that he expected her to react that way.
Do you think she was falling for Columbo?
A little bit, yes. But I also think that she actually loved Nick at one time. And it wasn't until she found out that he was sleeping with her daughter first.
Oh, well...
I know. Well, people that are listening to this, I'm assuming have already watched the thing. But he's hitting a nerve because he's asking about her past when she was hurt very, very badly by Nick.
Yeah.
And we're led to believe that this is her motive, but it's not. But
no.
All right.
So yes. So because of Nick's phone records, he was able to determine that there was 12 calls made to this one number within, I don't know, what was it, 24 hours or something. And it turns out it's Lisa's number.
Yeah.
Okay, so we didn't really go into Lisa very much. So Lisa is she's from Rome. She's a young, looks like, how old would you say she is? She's
20,
probably in her 20s?
Yeah, 25, maybe 25. The actress is probably 45 for all we know, but...
Yeah. But she's pretty, but more on the masculine side, which kind of made me think my initial thoughts about her.
Yeah, they did that on purpose because she by the way, she was in Babylon 5, and I've never watched Babylon 5. Have you ever watched that?
Yes, I knew I recognized her, but I couldn't figure out where I've seen her.
Okay. I've never
Babylon 5.
I've never seen an episode of that, and I thought it might be like Farscape, something that you would watch that
I never watched Babylon 5.
Okay.
No, but,
all right.
but yeah, so she's the other woman. You get the impression that somewhere or another, her and Lauren had met each other by chance. She has a huge scar on her neck, which we find out is from Nick. I can't remember why he did that to her, but what else? I'm saying a lot.
Well, I want to go back to what you said, that they actually make her seem kind of butch by dressing her up in like jeans and a denim jacket. I'm thinking about the bathroom scene specifically. They pull her hair back, and all this is just to lead us on to not make us realize that she's not exactly who we think she is.
Well, and there's scenes where Lisa and Lauren there's embracing. They don't kiss, but there's gazing into each other's eyes closely. They mention they love each other, and so yeah, you're kind of built up thinking what is one thing. But anyways, now I'd like to jump forward now that we've discussed Lisa a little bit more. But so Columbo brings Lisa in for interrogation. I mean, they're giving her the once over. The cops are just really aggressively interrogating her.
And it's a show. It's on purpose.
Yeah, and so Columbo has Lauren come in to watch the proceedings through a what do you call it? Is it a one-way mirror?
Two-way mirror, I think.
Is that a two-way? Whatever. Yeah, it's a mirror that you can see through from the other side.
That term doesn't make sense. Two-way mirror. That implies that there are two mirrors, but that's not what it is.
I know. That's what I was thinking. So Lauren begs Columbo to have her released, and that I guess basically she'll give a confession. Mm-hmm. So surprisingly, Columbo tells the police officers to leave the room. He tells Lisa, you go. He escorts her out and lets her leave. Surprisingly, and Lauren writes out a confession on a piece of paper, and she then gives the biggest twist, and I love twists. Maybe this is why I speak of this episode fondly. It's her daughter. I gasped out loud when that was revealed. I thought that was great.
Well,
not you.
No. Okay. Okay. Wait. Let's think what we know about Columbo.
You don't like. I know why you don't like this episode. It's because you think he's fooling around behind Mrs. Columbo's back.
No, that's not. It has nothing to do with Mrs. Columbo. Okay. All right. Okay. Part of it is me. Part of it is also something that doesn't make sense in the grand Columbo universe. Part of it is okay. If there's a murder committed by two people, I like for it to be like Columbo Goes to College, where we have Columbo interacting equally with both murderers. We don't have that here. In fact, he's on screen with Lisa for probably 20 seconds, and that's it. Okay? It's all Lauren all the time. And he lets her go after he gets a confession out of Lauren. And why would he let her go and take... He just says to her, tomorrow would be like a great day to buy a ticket to Europe or something. Mm-hmm. He doesn't know the history between Lauren and Lisa and Nick. Okay, because it just seems, at the end of Try and Catch Me, when he finds out that Abigail Mitchell's the murderer, he actually tells her, well, I'm also a very professional person. Okay, so he's willing to let one murderer go to get one murderer behind bars.
He's done something similar before, not just that episode. There's another one I can't think
I
of.
know the one that you're thinking of, and this is only the second time in Columbo's history where he's let a murderer go. And when he comes back inside after letting Lisa go, and Lauren tells him the story, then it's totally understandable. Like, you really feel bad for both of them when you find out what the real motive is, and that they're mother and daughter. Because we find out that Nick was physically abusive. We knew that before, but he was just using Lauren for her money. And, we just had an idea that he was a two-timer before then, but then in that monologue that she gives, he comes across as a fucking monster, and she does it so well. So that's what I got to say about that. It's a really, really good, strong ending.
Yes,
I
think so.
And I wrote down at first that it was a little bit drawn out, and maybe we could have done without the final scene in Barney's, but her monologue at the end was great. I mean, I should have looked it up. I would think that this is something that she would be nominated for an Emmy for. But maybe she was, maybe she wasn't. I don't know. I need to look it up. And if you want to clarify that, you can email us at columboconfab@gmail.com.
Oh, I thought the performance was spectacular. So, you ready to get a number and review it?
Yeah, you go. Okay, what's the number? I can't remember who went first.
I don't
last
remember.
time, but okay. Give us the number.
Okay, so let's go and rate it. I was going to do a simple 1 out of 10. You want to go first?
Yeah. I have to think. No.
Yes, no.
I don't know.
All right, I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm going to give this a solid. I'm really surprised I'm going to say this because it's an older one. I don't typically like these older 90s.
You mean newer one? Newer one. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to give this a solid 10.
Are you serious? Really?
This is one of my favorites, or at least favorites out of the new. This is, without a doubt, my favorite from the newer set of Columbo episodes.
Really?
I love this one. I love the flirtation that Columbo does with Lauren. I love the mystery of are they gay lovers? It turns out the twist at the end that it's a mother and daughter, and she does the ultimate sacrifice. I like the dialogue between Columbo and Barney. We get a little dog in there for little seasoning on top of this perfect meal of Columbo. It's just perfect. I really like this one. I could watch this again tonight. It's really good. I highly recommend it.
Well, I mean,
are you shocked?
I am shocked. I really did not think you would like this that much. The thing that I agree with you the most is the twist. I really liked the twist at the end. I did not like Barney. I thought that was fluff and it was padding and we didn't need it. It's not that I didn't like Barney himself. I just felt that the scenes seemed out of place.
Are you kidding? I thought the writing was beautiful. It was like the writing between Columbo and the landlord. It was all funny, good stuff.
I liked the landlord, but
even the maid. The whole scene, on, off.
Oh yeah, that was great. That was great. There were a few great clues, but I mean, there were things that stuck in my craw, like the fact that part of the murder was carbon copy of something from the 70s. And the gotcha clue at the end where, mom confesses to protect the daughter is another gotcha scene from the 70s. Or a gotcha clue from the 70s. I love Peter Falk in this, but he's writing it for his own character. I'm going to give it a 6. A very strong 6. I just don't like this that much. I can't put my finger on it. I think if we, maybe it's the timing. Maybe it's because we've just watched okay, well, it's better than Undercover. I can't remember what I gave Undercover, but I'd rather watch this than that any day. But out of the 5 episodes that we've done for this season, I think that this is the bottom second for me.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just meh for me. I couldn't get into it that much.
Fascinating. Oh no, I really enjoyed it.
Wow, this is
Definitely one of my favorites.
This is just like Caution: Murder Can Be Hazardous to Your Health when I loved it, and you were like, "Oh, it's boring." I can't.
Okay, I think you're crazy, but
Well, who knows?
okay. So, do we have any feedback?
We do. We have an email all the way from Australia. From a lady. I was going to say young lady, but really, I have no idea. Oh wait, there was another email. It was actually a follow-up email that we got from Ed, in which he says, the Sony Watchman was around since the early 80s. I emailed you earlier, but you didn't seem to get it. I just resent that email. Actually, Ed, we did get your earlier email, but I think we read it on an episode that we had recorded way later. So that's if it seems like we didn't get your email, we actually did. We just recorded the episode a long time ago. It's hard to explain. Timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly. What I'm basically trying to say is we record this shit sometimes weeks before we actually release it. So right now, as we speak, tomorrow, episode 2 of season 4 of our podcast is going to be released, and we're currently recording episode 5. So, yeah. So we got an email from Julie, and Julie says, Dear Steve and Sean, I just wanted to write to you to say that I'm listening to this podcast religiously from Melbourne, Australia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Happy Australia Day, by the way.
Today's Australia Day? Really?
I think it was yesterday.
Oh, okay. Cool. Having lived in London for 6 years, then booted out rather unexpectedly. Yeah, I know. Drugs. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what does that mean?
I don't know if that's true, Julia. I'm sorry I offended you. I turned to the tried and tested comfort that is Columbo. The Australian Open, tennis, she puts in parentheses, is on at present, and I'm noticing a lot of people watching it on the TV, but listening to the radio call. The way I love this, by the way, this is me speaking, I love this. The way I enjoy your podcast is a variation on this, i.e. having an episode on the laptop whilst listening to your thoughts over the top. It's like watching one of those bonus director's commentary features on a DVD. Anyway, thanks for the entertainment and company during this transition. And she has a PS. She said, I have listened / I am in the process of listening to a couple of the other Columbo Cop podcasts. And then she says in parentheses, psh, or psh, psh, but yours consistently hits the right notes for me. You work so beautifully together. Please never go all Simon and Garfunkel on us.
Well, Sean and I have been podcasting with each other for, what, 8-9 years now?
I think it's going to be 10 in November.
Is it 10? 10 years?
Yeah. No. It'll be 9 in November.
Oh, my God. Jeez. Okay. Hopefully we do have some sort of, I don't know.
Back and forth, repartee.
Yeah.
How's your daddy? Whatever you want to call that. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen who are listening, all 4 of you, this is our last episode of season 4, and we will be back. I'm hoping with not such a long break as we did last time, because that was over the holidays. But we'll be gone for maybe a month or so. I don't know.
Wow.
But when we come back, we're going to start off with a 70s episode.
Oh, thank God.
Which brings us... Oh, after you praise this one, you're gonna say...
Well, I mean, honestly, the odds are that we're going to hit another good one in the newer episodes is slim to none. And typically, I like the older ones.
Okay.
So I'm almost I feel comfortable with the old 70s. I enjoy those.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fair enough. Okay, that being said, Steve, why don't you give the old swinging wheel of the 70s a spin, and we'll see what we're talking about.
Swinging Away with Faye Dunaway. Oh, that rhymed.
Pretty sure. Yeah. Okay.
What?
I don't know what I was going to say. I don't know. All right.
Swinging Away without Mrs. Columbo.
Speaking of swinging away without Mrs. Columbo, we are going to watch Dagger of the Mind, starring Honor Blackman and a guy that I don't know the name of as London Shakespearean actors. This is the one where Columbo goes off to London without Mrs. Columbo.
I've seen that one, but I was really drunk and I watched it, so this will be new to me.
Okay. So we opened up this season with an episode featuring 2 murderers. I guess we end it with an episode with 2 murderers, and next season we open with an episode with 2 murderers. And I challenge you this time,
Yes,
Steve,
that's
while
right.
while you're watching it, find actors who were in Doctor Who.
How many were there?
1 that I know of.
Oh, okay.
Okay, fine. Okay, find actors that were in Bewitched in this upcoming episode.
Oh, well, I already know who you're talking about. It's got to be that uncle from Bewitched.
Dr. Bombay?
Yeah, Dr. Bombay.
Okay. All right. All right, well, I guess that concludes our podcast for this season. Say goodnight, Steve.
Good night, everyone.
Bye, everybody! Thank you for listening to the Columbo Confab podcast. To email us with a comment or question, write to columboconfab@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter @columboconfab, and look for us on Facebook. If you're enjoying the show, please leave us some happy reviews on iTunes.
I love clues.
Hello, I'm Sean, and I'm the host of the 1001 Movies podcast, based on the book 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die. Each episode, I randomly pick a film from the book and spend about 10 minutes talking about its director, the cast, the genre, and my personal thoughts on the merits of the film. Each delicious yet bite-sized episode contains information about a film from practically any genre, any country, or any year. Check us out on iTunes and we'll send you free cookies. Some restrictions apply.